What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Huddle Hub podcast. My name is Metal Mike, and I'm joined here, as always, with the Candyman himself, the Pick Master, Mr. Johnny H. John, how you doing on this wonderful Football Tuesday?
I'm doing good. Doing good. I'm ready to talk some college football, some pros with you. So let's go. How are you doing?
I'm doing really, really good. Today was a very, very good day. I'm in like today felt different, man. I'm in some good spirits, I'm just feeling good today. Like today's a good feeling day. And we got a jam-packed show tonight, man. We got to start off with the breaking news that broke about an hour ago. And that is, after 18 seasons, the Baltimore Ravens have decided to move on from head coach John Harbaugh. This news coming out about an hour and a half ago.
18 seasons?
18 seasons with John Harbaugh.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long. I figured it was like 12 or something. Wow.
18 seasons. His record was 180 and 112. He went 13 and 11 in the playoffs, won Super Bowl 47. He was the AP Coach of the Year back in 2019, and the Ravens have decided to move on from him. So a lot of questions coming from this decision, because coming out of the Sunday night game against Pittsburgh, this wasn't the first thought. I know there was a little chatter about it. There was chirps about it happening, maybe. But did you really have that thought in your mind? Like, are the Ravens really going to move on from John Harbaugh? Are they really going to?
I couldn't believe that when you texted me that and I saw it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? This guy has had so much success and they have one down year and they get rid of him?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I'll say this right now, John, these past 2 days, I have not been as glued to my phone as much as I have been the past 2 days with trying to keep up with all the news coming out of the NFL, with coaches firings and stuff moving along and everything like that. And I caught this news literally 30 seconds. When I looked at it and the sources that I follow and get my news from, it said 30 seconds ago, John Harbaugh fired from Baltimore. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do deeper search into this just to make sure this is confirmed. We're not breaking news that isn't confirmed, anything like that. 7 different sources, and it was confirmed, and it was even confirmed by ESPN and Adam Schefter. So, and you go to Adam Schefter, 9 times out of 10, everything's correct.
He's right. I don't think he's ever wrong. He's right.
No, Adam Schefter is a viable source. So
that's a game changer. Like,
huge.
If you're the Jets, if you're the Jets didn't fire Glenn. If you're the Raiders, if you're the Cardinals, if you're the Browns, go after this guy, man. Go after him and give him as much time as he needs to turn your team around.
So the news did come out that 45 minutes before the firing was announced, John Harbaugh's agent reached out to all of the teams that have vacancies, the Giants, Browns, Falcons, Cardinals, Titans, and Raiders, all reached out to before the decision was announced. So this happened 45 minutes before it got announced. And then John Harbaugh's agent was right on top of it. It was announced that he is already setting up meetings with every vacant team in the NFL. So
if I'm the Giants or the Titans, and I'm saying them specifically,
yes,
because they already have their quarterbacks of the future in place, I am doing everything I can to make sure he does not leave my facility without a contract.
Yeah. And now the questions are coming out is what's next for Lamar Jackson, because there have been talks about him possibly moving on and leaving Baltimore. He did make it very vocal that he wanted to be traded to Miami if they decided to move on from him. So now the question lies is, what about Lamar Jackson? And that question is up in the air. It is out there. What does Baltimore do with him? So
I would say keep him. He's an MVP. Keep him. Well, he's a 2-time MVP, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, 2018 and 2018 and 2024.
Yeah, he doesn't do well in the playoffs, but keep him.
There's always that one time he can spark and do something in the playoffs.
If you trade him, you better get the house for him. I'm talking like 3 first-round picks, throw a second in there, throw a fourth in there. Like, you get the house for him. But if they get rid of Harbaugh after one bad year,
yeah,
I don't know, man. I could honestly see them get rid of Jackson now. I still don't think they will because he's been the face of that franchise for so long. But who knows, man? This is crazy.
It is. Well, we're gonna get more into this and the rest of the coaching carousel, along with the rest of the news coming out of the NFL a little later on in the show. John, we got a jam-packed show for everybody tonight to get into. Starting off with the Week 18 recap in the NFL. John, you've been a very busy man these past couple days. You know, you've had a pretty tight schedule these past couple days. What games did you focus on in Week 18 this past week? Seeing that it's the final week of the season, not a lot to focus on, but there were some scenarios to focus on. And again, you know, very busy schedule. What games were you able to focus on this week?
Well, to be honest with you, the only game I really got to watch was the Seahawks just manhandling the 49ers. But I'm just gonna say, instead of what games I'm focusing on, I'm just gonna say, congrats to the teams that did what they had to do. The Seahawks, the Bucks, even though it got overridden with the Falcons. So I'm gonna throw the Falcons in there. Congratulations to the Jaguars. Congratulations to who else secured their spot? The Texans, the Bills,
Steelers,
and congratulations to the Rams for knocking the 49ers to the 6th seed and securing the 5th seed. Congratulations to the Steelers. So I just want to say congratulations to the teams who had to do what they had to do and lock up wins or playoff spots. I mean,
yeah, definitely. You know, Saturday night I watched both games. I watched the Panthers, Bucks. I watched the 49ers and Seahawks. And I know that you were waiting until Sunday to watch the 49ers Seahawks.
Well, I was so mad after that game. I was
I know you were
off, man. I was hot. Like, a game hasn't pissed me off like that in so long.
Offense. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was about to say the way their offense just played fiddlesticks or whatever, just had their fingers in their pockets the whole damn time. The way the O-line didn't block for Purdy at all, and he was getting hammered. He got hurt on the last play. They still haven't said how bad it is. And oh my goodness, I was so mad at that. The defense played great. You hold a team to 13 points.
Yeah.
That's great. And they're a makeshift defense right now. You heard all you need was 2 scores to win, 2 touchdowns, and they couldn't even get one. But like, that's why I said congratulations to Seattle for taking care of business and doing what they needed to do to get that number 1 spot. They were the more, I'm not going to say the better team. They were the supreme team that day.
Knowing that you wanted to watch that game on Sunday, you had texted me, I think it was on like Wednesday or Thursday already, and you were like, don't say anything. I want to watch it on Sunday. That's going to be the football that I watch. I so badly Saturday night wanted to text you and say, dude, do not waste your time. I did, but I didn't want to take the game away from you because that was going to be the football you were watching on Sunday, so I kept my mouth shut. I let you watch the game and do your thing. But I so badly wanted to say that to you because the 49ers offense completely caught me off guard. Watching them against the Bears on Sunday Night Football and then fast forwarding to their game on Saturday night with Seattle, it was like watching 2 different total offenses. I'm like, what happened to the team that attacks defenses? The team that has impressed me the times that I've watched them and do what they did. Do the 49ers still give me, you know, and we're going to get into the playoff. We're going to preview the NFL playoffs slightly here on tonight's show. We are. I said it. The 49ers are the team that still gives me that little bit of angst going into the postseason.
I said it was them in Seattle were the teams you needed to watch. And well, the problem is they didn't have Trent Williams, and their O-line just wouldn't. They couldn't get the run game going because of the O-line. They couldn't get the pass game going because Purdy was getting rushed and hurried. Their defense, surprisingly, I think got 2 sacks. They're last in the league in sacks because all their top pass rushers are hurt.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why I said for that makeshift patchwork defense to hold Seattle to 13 points.
Yeah.
That was an amazing job. It's just that the offense, and I knew it was over when they drove all the way down the field and it looked like they were going to score. And the ball, I believe the ball got tipped and Purdy threw an interception or he got rushed. I knew it had something to do with the O-line, but he got intercepted right when it looked like they were going to score a touchdown and only be down by 3. And I'm like, well, that's it. That was their chance. And it didn't happen. So.
Well, as far as Brock Purdy's injury, he did suffer a stinger, but they don't know how much it's going to impact their game on Sunday against Philly. So,
but they didn't say how bad it was.
Yeah, they did not disclose how bad it was, but I'll say this right now, that offense, it completely surprised me. You know, going from 1 week having this shootout Sunday night game against Chicago, and then the next week you're playing for the NFC West, you're playing for the number 1 seed, and it's like this offense just completely, and no angst on San Francisco or anything like that. I'm not taking any shots at them, but it's almost like they didn't show up. It's like the offense didn't show up. You know,
Seattle has. I don't care if the Texans statistically have the best defense. I think Seattle does, to be honest with you.
They have a top defense.
I really do.
They do.
What's that?
They have a top pass defense.
I mean, they do. Then you say, what happened to the team who plays the Bears? The Bears don't have a defense. Their defense is the best at takeaways. That's it.
Yeah.
They're not the best at stopping the run. They're not the best at stopping the pass. If they don't get takeaways, they probably don't win the games that they win. That's the thing with the Bears. It's 100% reliant on takeaways.
Yeah. Well, we're going to definitely slightly preview the playoffs since we do have a full-on playoff picture now. Everything's set in stone. Super Wildcard Weekend kicks off on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to get slightly into previewing that and talk about that for a few moments. Real quick, my games of the week. I'm going to throw my hat off to the Cleveland Browns, who closed out their last 2 season games, winning against Pittsburgh, winning against Cincinnati. You know, a great finish for Cleveland, but now the questions lie about what they have to look forward to moving forward. Again, with the coaching carousel, the next game that I got to say is Jacksonville going in and completely manhandling Tennessee the way they did. Trevor Lawrence these past couple weeks, I know he's looked good all season, but these past couple weeks, man, Trevor Lawrence has been firing on all cylinders. And that's scary to think about because we sat here a year ago when Trevor Lawrence got his contract and thought, did Jacksonville make a mistake? And now they are the number 3 seed, AFC South champions, and could possibly be the strongest team going into the AFC playoffs. Because you can't take them away from what New England and Denver have done this year. They only finished with 1 more loss than New England and Denver. So can you add Jacksonville into that danger zone of teams to play against in the postseason? Last game is the Steelers-Ravens. Great Sunday night game. It wasn't a San Francisco-Chicago Sunday night game, but it was a good Sunday night game. A great way to close out the season and a very historic way to close out the season, the way that the game ended. So hats off to those 3 games. Those were my games of Week 18. John updated.
Tyler Loop missed that field goal. He was lined up dead center, man, dead center, and you could see his reaction after the game. Like he knew it was on him. Like he was upset.
Yeah. So updated pick challenge, John. I finished the regular season 174-98. You finished the regular season 173-99. I am a +1 going into the playoffs for the first
Tyler
time.
Loop.
It's crazy, man. It came down to Sunday night.
I know.
The final game of the season.
That's why I said thanks, Tyler Loop. You might have cost your head coach the job too.
Like, I'll say this.
A kicker, man. He's been solid for a rookie all year.
We started our pick challenge back in 2017, 2018. We started our pick. 2017 was our first pick challenge year. So we're on year number 9 or year number 8. Okay. You've dominated for these first 7 years.
I've won every one. That's why
exactly.
I'm a master.
There had to have come a time where this has happened, and it's now. But it's not over. We still have the postseason. You got the college football one, and I said it on last week's show. I said it last week. You got that one locked up.
You're 4 behind, and there's 3 games left. There's
exactly
no possible way. that you can catch me. Yeah, that's locked up.
But we are going to finish strong. We're still going to make our
Oh,
picks
yeah.
and everything. We
Exactly.
got to have a conclusion. So, we do have a cool idea. I think it's safe to say we can announce how we're going to do the college football one next year because we're pretty excited about it. So basically to fill this out real quick, next year, how we're going to do this is week 0 and week 1. We are going to pick all the top 25 games in week 0 and week 1. Whoever has the best overall record gets to pick what conference we pick from in week 2. And then if you win that week, you get to pick the next week for what conference we pick from. Now, the records, it's not an overall record thing. It is who has the best conference record. For example, if John, throughout the season, has the best conference record in the SEC, then John wins the SEC, and whatever teams make it into the college football playoff in the SEC, that's who represents John. And then ultimately, whoever wins the national championship, that's who wins the pick challenge. Great way of doing it. Great way how and it all came from you. You brought the idea up. It's John's idea, and this is how we're doing it. And it's going to be fun to do.
Into my head the other night, and we just kind of talked it over, and we shot our deals back and forth, our ideas of how we can improve it, and then we came up with how we were going to do it.
I'm definitely excited and looking forward to the 2026 season. I am. John, as you know, I kept track of how our picks, how many times we picked what teams in the NFL. And I was able to figure out how the playoffs would have looked if our picks went the way they, would have, if they would have went the way perfectly on how we picked. This is what the playoffs would have looked like. For me in the NFC, Eagles would have been the number 1 seed at 17-0. I pick the Eagles every week, obviously. The 49ers,
Homer.
15. Huh?
I said Homer.
I mean, you picked the 49ers 15-2, so
Well, to be
I know,
fair,
I know you picked
into
against
the
them.
season, I had them going 14-3.
Yeah.
So there was I was one off from that.
So my NFC playoffs, by the way, I picked the Eagles would have went 17-0, number 1 seed. 49ers, number 2 seed at 15-2. Packers, 12-5 in the 3 seed. Panthers, 11-6 with the 4 seed. And then my 5th seed, 6th seed, and 7th seed, Bears, Seahawks, Bucks, all 10-7. And I had to do some deep dive on how they ended up making it. The Rams just missed it at 10-7 with a head-to-head. Nah. Nuts. For my AFC, Bills 15-2, Texans and Broncos 13-4 with the Steelers at 13-4 as well. Patriots and Chargers. Huh?
I said, hi, Cam. He just popped in the chat.
Oh, what's up, Cam? How's it going? Bills 15-2 with home field. Texans, Broncos, Steelers 13-4 winning their respective divisions. Patriots and Chargers 5 and 6 seed at 11-6, and then the Colts made it at 9-8. So that's how my playoffs would have been if my picks went perfectly. For you, 49ers at 15-2, home field advantage, number 1 seed. The Bucks and Bears and Eagles all 13-4 winning their respective divisions.
The Bucks let me down this year.
The Rams at 14-3 in the 5 seed. The Seahawks 12-5 in the 6 seed. The Lions 11-6 in the 7 seed. Okay. And then for your AFC, the Bills would have home field advantage at 14-3. Broncos 13-4, Ravens 12-5, Jaguars 11-6, all of them winning their respective divisions. Your 5th seeded team would have been the Chargers at 12-5, Chiefs at the 6th seed at 11-6, and the Patriots 11-6 for the 7th seed.
I got off the Chiefs bandwagon a little bit too late. I kept expecting them to turn their season around, and then I finally realized it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. So that's how things would have went for the regular season for our picks, and if they would have went perfectly, that's what the playoffs would have looked like by way of our picks. So
the story's not finished yet, Cam.
It is
Don't
not.
Count me out.
It's still,
I'm only one game back.
Yep, it still continues through the playoffs. So the story is not finished yet. Not done yet. John, we had some records and milestones that were broken this week, starting off with running back from the 49ers, Christian McCaffrey. He became the all-time receptions leader for running backs. So he surpassed Marshall Faulk this week.
Shame. I really wanted him to get that 1,000-yard back. Like, you should have heard me yelling. If they're stuffing him when he's running the ball, just throw it to him. You know, it's like
he only missed it by a couple yards.
I wanted him to be the first player to ever hit the 1,000 twice, but he just missed it.
Yeah, I mean, he only missed it by a couple yards. It was not far off.
Yeah.
But I mean, he at least got in the record books for most receptions by a running back. So, you know, Myles Garrett, defensive end of the Browns, as we've seen, he broke the all-time single-season sack record with his 23rd sack of the season. He now is in first place.
He should take Joe Burrow for a nice dinner because he just flopped for him like Brett Favre did for Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
He just flopped for him, man.
I mean, do you really think the Bengals were not going to let him get it?
I wouldn't have. I would have made him earn it.
Yeah.
Instead of just, oh, he's right there, flop. I would have let him earn it, man.
I can agree with you on that. But I think some of these guys think like they're so close.
I give props to Pittsburgh for actually trying to make him earn it.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't just flop for him.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver of the Vikings. He joined Mike Evans and Randy Moss as the only player with 1,000 yards in each of his first 6 seasons. So Justin Jefferson in that club. Jamar Chase surpassed Randy Moss and Torrey Holt for second most yards by a player in their first 5 seasons. So Jamar Chase gets in the record books. Jared Goff, quarterback of the Lions, surpassed Drew Brees for 4th most passing yards in their first 150 games, and he also surpassed Kirk Cousins for 3rd all time. So he surpassed Drew Brees earlier in the game, and then he later on surpassed Kirk Cousins. So passing 2 players. Bo Nix, he tied Russell Wilson for his 24th win in their first 2 seasons. So Russell Wilson had 24 wins in his first 2 years, and now Bo Nix in his first 2 years, 24 wins. And the final one, John, for the first time since 1933, the New York Jets defense did not have an interception all season.
They didn't. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. They're lost.
First time since 1933, a team did not have an interception.
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
George Kittle passed Terrell Owens for number 2 all-time receptions list for the 49ers. He's just behind Jerry Rice.
Nice. I think I might have missed that one.
They announced that one during the game and had a nice little graphic when he did it. I was like, yeah, he's not catching Jerry Rice. He's gonna end at number 2.
I mean, hey. Good deal though. George Kittle, hell of a player. I mean, I'm a fan of George Kittle. George Kittle.
I am too.
He's a good
dude. That guy is so passionate about football and wrestling, but he's so passionate about football. Like, we need more players like him.
Yeah, I mean, we have him literally sitting on the sideline doing this.
Don't you just love football? God, what a fun sport.
Right, George, it is a fun sport.
He is number 1, man. He is so fun to watch. The stuff he says is so funny.
Yeah. John, that was our final NFL records and milestones segment of the year. Final one.
Yeah.
It'll be back in 2026.
We'll have playoff records if they happen.
Yeah, I mean, we'll announce them. I mean, I'll keep the graphic up here for it just in case something does happen. You know, we'll cover it, but that's the last one for the regular season. So, you know, if we do end up having something happen during the postseason, we will talk about it. So you're right.
I got a record and milestone that you missed.
Which one did I miss?
This is the first time ever that Metal Mike is leading the pick competition going into the playoffs. So there's another record.
Thank you.
Right there. I'm going to throw that out there because this is the best year you've ever had.
I appreciate that. I do. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, we still got the postseason. You know,
but dude, if you win, it's been 8 years coming. Like, I can't be mad if you finally beat me because I've beat you in everything. 7 football ones. I beat you in the UFL. I just locked up the college football one. Like, this will be like the first time ever.
I got one that you didn't cover.
What?
Fantasy Football League. You beat me in the 7th place game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did my team get?
kicked the
I
crap
was
out of me.
projected to win the championship after the
Thanks, Cam.
draft, and then my players just didn't show up, and I finished 7th place. I was like, thanks, guys. Thanks. I won the draft, but that's about it.
Yeah. And I finished right behind you in 8th place. So,
Yeah.
you finished
Yeah, my
first out of
team
the
showed
playoffs. I
up when
finished
it
second.
didn't matter. That's the
Yeah.
problem. It showed up when it didn't matter.
It's like everybody showed up in the back end of the season. And it's like,
I
why couldn't you
know.
do this stuff in the beginning when it really, really needed to happen? Like, it is what it is,
No, I
man.
was like 3-0, and then everybody took a nap. They went into
Yeah.
hibernation.
It did. So, John, let's get into the news that's come out. We're going to do the coaches carousel separate from the rest of the news.
Okay.
So we'll run down the news real quick. Harrison Smith, defensive back of the Vikings, he may have possibly played his last game not only in Minnesota but in the NFL on Sunday. Got a huge standing ovation inside USA Bank Stadium. It was a beautiful moment for him. It was. I was watching.
Man.
Yeah,
Well-deserved.
definitely well deserved. A hell of a defensive back.
Yeah, great player.
Yeah, so I mean, I had my eyes on the Packers Vikings. I wasn't really locked into it, but I caught that moment live, and I was like, man, that was so beautiful to just watch. It was beautiful to watch. The Texans, they are entering the playoffs for the first time, not being the AFC South champions. So every time they've entered the playoffs, they won their division. This is the first time they're entering the playoffs without winning their division. That's crazy.
Well, now if they by chance make it real far, you should. Texans fans, hope you never win your division again.
Yeah.
Because every time you win the division, it's an early out.
Yeah. This is the first time since 2022 that the Jaguars won the AFC South, and the first time since 2015 that the Panthers won the NFC South.
I'm still hoping ever since that, 1997? Yeah, because it was the second year the Panthers and Jaguars were in when they both made the conference championship games. I'm still hoping for that Panthers and Jaguars Super Bowl one year.
And it could happen this year. Who knows? What if the Panthers go on a heater in the playoffs this year? What if?
See it. I don't see it.
I don't
see the Rams. I don't see the Rams going into Carolina and losing. I just don't. They're too good of a team. Like, they're just too good. And even if it would have been the 49ers, I don't see the 49ers going in. They already beat them once. Like, I just couldn't see either one of those teams losing to the Panthers in the playoffs.
Cam doesn't think so either. I'm going to say this right now.
They've moved forward, which is great, but they're not. They're like playoff contender light.
Yeah,
they're not.
That's fair.
Full contender yet. They're getting there though. So just like the Bears went from missing the playoffs to looking like they have a shot to really do something. Like,
yeah. My hot take is right now, sometimes every playoff we sometimes see that one surprise win that you didn't expect, and something's giving me that feeling that the Panthers are going to be the one to do it against the Rams.
I don't see
Part
it,
of
man.
me.
The Rams have too good of an offense, too good of a defense. I don't see it.
Well, we'll get more into the playoff. Like I said, we're gonna preview the playoffs slightly here on the show tonight, but we'll get into talking more about that as we get into that. The Raiders, they clinched the #1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The last time they had a first overall pick was in 2007. Jamarcus Russell, quarterback out of LSU.
Yeah, and he was the worst draft pick of all time. Like,
that was a bad
people
draft.
say Ryan Leaf is the biggest bust of all time, but I always argue Jamarcus Russell. So
no such thing as Cinderella stories, Cam. You'd be surprised.
Oh, wow.
Cam Ward, quarterback of the Titans, he left Sunday's game with a shoulder sprain in his AC joint. As of right now, doctors are saying that there's no surgery that's needed. He's going to heal up just fine and be ready for 2026. Apparently, he is going to get a second opinion on the shoulder, but as of right now, everything is okay. No surgery, just rest and, rehab, basically, for Cam Ward. That's a tough hit for him right at the end of the year, man. Right at the end of the year. I mean, I guess it's a good time, too, because you don't have to worry about next week. So
yeah, plus he's got all off season to heal. So that is, if you want to get a big injury, you want it now instead of at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
If you're on a team like the Titans.
Yeah. Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback of the Dolphins, he was asked about a fresh start after their game on Sunday. He said that it would be dope. There is about $56.4 million of cap on him of dead cap. The Dolphins have $100 million to split within the next 2 seasons and could actually eat that money right now. So the Dolphins, if they want to move on from Tua, which it seems like they're going to, they could do it.
They need to. They need to. He is the Dak Prescott in the AFC, man. He needs to. He disappears when they need him. They need a fresh start. And he might need a fresh start too. Who knows?
Yeah. So that's it for pretty much the regular news coming out. Let's get into the coaching carousel, John, because there's more than just head coaching news. So we're going to run this down. If you want to talk about a coach, say stop and let's talk about it. Okay. Because we have a couple of coaches to talk about. Number 1, Kevin Stefanski of the Browns. He was there for 6 seasons. His record was 45-56 overall. He went 1-2 in the playoffs. He was the AP Coach of the Year in 2020 and 2023. He is also the second longest tenured coach in Cleveland. He coached 101 regular season games, which is the second most in franchise history. He currently has interviews set up with the Titans, Giants, and Falcons coming up this week. He will actually be interviewing with the Giants on Wednesday. So Kevin Stefanski is heading out to New York tomorrow to interview. Do you have anything to say on Kevin Stefanski? Should I move on?
Yeah, you can move on.
Okay. I do want to say one thing slightly about him. I'm going to say this, and me and Cam were actually talking about this off air. Sometimes when you look at a team, yes, you can point fingers at head coaches. Yes, was Kevin Stefanski part of the problem? He probably was. He wasn't making all the best decisions or anything like that. But part of me as a football fan feels like he was set up for failure the minute they traded for Deshaun Watson. And that's my opinion.
I feel like, and you can throw the Jets into this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You can throw the Raiders into this conversation. If you're constantly running through coaches and general managers, don't you think the problem's a little bit higher up?
Yeah.
A bit higher up?
General manager, and some of the management up in the office.
Who are constantly running through coaches because they're not winning. Look at the higher ups. Mm-hmm. There's your problem. Look at the teams who are constantly winners. You don't see them getting rid of their GMs. You don't see them get rid of their coach. You don't see them getting rid of their heads of football operations, their vice presidents. It's like, and I get it. Like the Raiders are a perfect example with Al Davis. The Giants not the Giants, the Cowboys with Jerry Jones, Daniel Snyder in Washington, Redskins / Commanders.
Yeah.
If the problem is higher up, it's not going to be fixed.
Yeah.
Until the higher up is gone. And so I don't know if it's 100% the coach's problem for these teams that just can't seem to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see who comes into Cleveland, and we'll have to see if Kevin Stefanski, as of right now, becomes the new head coach in New York, because that's who he's interviewing with on Wednesday. I mean, I don't think he's going to make that decision right away. I think we'll find out probably in like March when everything becomes official. But I obviously news breaks sooner than it really should sometimes, and I don't think the Giants are going to make that quick of a decision, knowing that they're bringing John Harbaugh in and Raheem Morris, other coaches that are going to be interviewing for the position. So we'll have to see. But they aren't on the field with the headsets. They don't care. Already. And I guess that could be fair to say that could be it. But at the same time, they should be putting themselves in that position to say, hey, we're not on the field, so we're not experiencing half the stuff that these coaches and players are thinking. So why not do something like, the Colts ownership? Look at them this year. They spent 99% of the time on the field while the team was playing. They weren't sitting up in the booth. They were on the field taking notes. And at first it looked weird, but then it was like, hold on. They're doing this to better their franchise and to figure out what their problem is. What's that?
More teams should do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
Definitely should. So,
and hence the Colts just missed the playoffs.
exactly.
I think it worked for him. If
Yep.
Daniel Jones doesn't go down with that injury, they might be in the playoffs because they were leading their division. They had looked like they were going to get the 1 seed at the midpoint of the season, and then it just bad luck. They got the bad roll of the dice.
Real quick, a piece of news that I did miss. Kirk Cousins and the Falcons, they modified the final 2 years of his contract. The Falcons can now make a decision on whether they want to keep him or let him go come March 13th. So that's some news that came out today.
I would say keep him, but the way he played this year, I don't even know about that.
Yeah. Brian Dable, as we know, he was fired back mid-season. He was with the Giants for 3 seasons plus 10 weeks. His record was 20-40-1. He was 1-1 in the playoffs. He was the AP coach of the year back in 2022. So Brian Dable, another coach that was let go. Raheem Morris of the Falcons, he was there for 2 seasons. He went 16-18. Pete Carroll, 1 year with the Raiders, 3-14. Jonathan Gannon of the Cardinals, he was there for 3 seasons. He went 15-36. As we talked about John Harbaugh earlier and his statistics, Brian Callahan was let go back 6 weeks into the season from the Titans after 1 year and 6 weeks. He went 4-19. So the current head coaching vacancies as of right now is the Giants, Browns, Falcons, Cardinals, Titans, Raiders, and Ravens. And there are still some talk about some other teams that need to make decisions, like the Steelers with Mike Tomlin. Obviously, John Harbaugh was just let go of the Ravens. They were on my list. But Aaron Glenn from the Jets, there's still talks about what they're going to do with him. And Andy Reid out in Kansas City. Kansas City's got to make a decision whether they want to stick with Andy or if they want to move on, and Andy's waiting for that decision from Kansas City.
I say keep Andy, fire Aaron, and if the Steelers are 1 and done in the playoffs like they have been the past 8 years, get Tomlin out of there. They're not going to win with him anymore.
He does have 1 more year on his contract, which is the 2026 season. So that decision, I think, will be made very quickly if they are 1 and done in the postseason. But
Cam, to your comment about Harbaugh to the Giants, I said that at the beginning of the show. If I'm the Giants or the Titans, somebody who has their quarterback of the future set in stone, I'm not letting him leave the building without it.
Yeah.
Without that contract.
Well, we'll definitely have to see what happens with some of these coaches. You said something, I wanted to react to it, and then I stopped.
I said about keeping Reid,
Mike Tomlin,
and then and Tomlin. If they're 1 and done in the playoffs again, get rid of Tomlin. And then I said, get rid of Glenn. He's a better He's like Robert Saleh. He's a better D coordinator than he is a head coach.
Well, Mike Tomlin, again, he has 1 more year left on his contract. I think they'll make that decision if they are 1 and done. But the Steelers, the record has come out that they are 23-0 since like 1997 on Monday Night Football, and they play Monday night against the Texans. So they've been undefeated on Monday night.
23-1, to be honest, because the Steelers they only made the playoffs because the kicker missed a kick. It wasn't like they came out and dominated that game.
Cam says, win or lose, Tomlin is probably done. Let him walk. Do not extend his contract. And they probably, like I said, if they decide they want to keep him for a year, they'll probably put him on a year-to-year basis until they make their full-on decision. If they decide to say, like, hey, after 2026, maybe let him stay in 2027, give him a 1-year contract worth a certain amount of money, and work out a deal to where cap space isn't taken up so much, because that is thrown into the deal of money. So, other coaches that have dispensed from their jobs. Cliff Kingsbury has left the Commanders as the offensive coordinator. Matt Eberflus was fired as the defensive coordinator out in Dallas. John Morton, the offensive coordinator of the Lions, have parted ways. And then there's some other news. Jason Garrett, he's looking to come back into head coaching. He's going to be interviewing for the Titans job this week. And Vance Joseph, defensive coordinator of the Broncos, he's going to be interviewing with the Raiders, Cardinals, Giants, and Titans this week. So, Joseph.
I like him. I like him as a head coach, man. I like the Broncos on defense, man. I like him as a head coach.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to definitely see if Van Joseph lands one of these jobs. I mean, he is a good defensive coordinator. So, if he gets into a role where he's a head coach and tries to help turn a team around like the Titans or the Giants, who knows? Who knows? Some retainments. Shane Steichen, the head coach of the Colts, and Chris Ballard, the GM, have been retained by Indianapolis, so they're going to be back in 2026. Zach Taylor, head coach of the Bengals, he's going to be back in 2026. And Joe Shane, the GM of the Giants, has been retained, and he will be back in 2026.
I don't know how he still has a job. They should have got rid of the coach and the GM. I guess drafting Jackson Dart and Cam Scattaboo, I think that might have saved his job.
May have.
For now. For now, it saved his job.
Yeah. It very well may have. Especially being able to get back into the draft and drafting a quarterback to take over after Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
So that may have been it. But that's it for the coaching carousel. Let's get into the playoff talk and what we're going to see in Wild Card Weekend. Starting off with Saturday, the Rams and the Panthers will kick things off at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. The Packers and the Bears out in Chicago at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be on Prime Video. On Sunday at 1 p.m., the Bills and the Jaguars kick off in Jacksonville, followed by the 49ers and Eagles at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. And then the Chargers and Patriots close things out Sunday night on NBC and Peacock. And then we got the Monday nighter between the Texans and the Steelers. So, John, if I had to ask you if you had one or two matchups in the playoffs to really be looking forward to, obviously 49ers Eagles. Okay, just like me, I'm looking forward to the 49ers and the Eagles. This is the second time in the past 4 years that our teams have met in the playoffs. Conference championship 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was the game
Now,
the Eagles had to injure every 49er quarterback to beat them.
Still on this.
It was a BS game.
Yeah, but if you had to pick at least one or two games to really look forward to other than the 49ers and Eagles, what game is it in the playoffs?
Oh, that's easy. Every time they play each other, the oldest rivalry in the NFL, the Packers and Bears. I look forward to that game every time they play each other. So I won't be able to watch it because it comes on at 8 o'clock and I'll be in bed by then. But that, and I'm going to go with the Jaguars and Bills for the other one because the Jaguars look hot. The Bills looked hot and then they cooled off in the middle and then they got hot again at the end. So I'm curious to actually see what Jacksonville can do against this Buffalo team. So what about you, Mike? What two games are you looking forward to?
The first one I'm looking forward to is that Monday nighter between Houston and Pittsburgh. Because of Pittsburgh's upstanding record in the past couple years on Monday night, 23-0. I mean, it's the playoffs. If you couldn't have set up a better way for the Steelers to be motivated to keep a record going, especially their 23-0 run on Monday Night Football to be in the playoffs and possibly get over that hump against Houston by getting past the wild card round. It's going to be a phenomenal game on Monday night to close things out in wild card weekend. Phenomenal. The other game I'm looking forward to, I mean, I'm going to say this. I am looking forward to the Rams and Panthers. A lot of people, I think, are underestimating Carolina in this game. A lot of people are saying that this is going to be a landslide. The Los Angeles is going to go out there and they're going to beat the crap out of Carolina. I don't think that's the case. I'm not sitting here saying that Carolina is going to go out and win this game, but I think they are going to fight and give Los Angeles a run for their money. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised on the outcome of this game, whether the Panthers win or lose. They're going to be surprised on Carolina's performance because of the improvement this year. And I'm excited to see Bryce Young get his first taste of the playoffs. And I'll say this right now. I got it. I am going to stick with what I said earlier. If there's going to be any game that gives us a surprise shock win, I think it would be the Panthers over the Rams. If I had to pick a different game that would have that shock and all, it would probably be the Bills over the Jaguars. You got to think of this, John.
I don't think that's a shock, though. Just like, to be honest with you, I don't think the Panthers have a shot. They couldn't even get into the playoffs by themselves. They needed the Falcons to beat the Saints to win their division for them.
Yeah.
So they couldn't even take care of their own business
to
get into the playoffs. So I don't think Carolina has a shot in this game.
That's fair. That's fair. And like I said, you know, I'm not sitting here saying they're going to win. I'm just saying I think they're going to surprise a lot of people, and they're going to go out and they're going to show people that they belong to be in this wild card weekend, being 8-9, even if they needed the help from Atlanta. Who cares? I think they're just going to show people that, hey, we mean business. We want to improve. Whether we get eliminated in the wild card round next year, watch out, because we may be the team to watch in the NFC South, as long as they keep up with the improvement. When I say Bills and Jaguars, it's just the fact of, look at the run the Jaguars have been on this season. Look at how they've played all year. Trevor Lawrence has been playing a lot better than a lot of people thought. And now Josh Allen has an open door in front of him to lead the Bills.
He has no excuses. There's
no Patrick Mahomes, no Joe Burrow,
no Lamar
Jackson. Exactly.
He's the most experienced quarterback on the AFC side. All the others are young guns, minus Aaron Rodgers. All the other ones are young quarterbacks.
Exactly. So we'll definitely have to see what happens in wildcard weekend. I'm going to be live on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, getting you guys ready for Saturday's games. And then me and Cam will be live on Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to get you guys ready for the rest of Sunday and Monday. So,
can I say this about the Jaguars, though?
Go for it. Go for it.
They went on that crazy tear at the end because they had an easy schedule.
You're not wrong on that.
I didn't want to say it. From week 12, Arizona, Tennessee.
Yep.
Then they had Indianapolis twice. They had the Jets. They had Tennessee again. So that's 6 easy wins right there, even though they needed overtime to beat Arizona.
Yep.
And then they had the surprise win at Denver. Denver was their only legit win.
Yeah. So there's a huge chance Buffalo goes into Jacksonville this weekend.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they went on this tear because of the easy second half of their schedule.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll have to definitely see what happens. Like I said, I'll be here Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, to get you guys ready for the 2 matchups on Saturday afternoon. And then me and Cam will be live at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday to get you guys ready for the rest of the schedule for wildcard weekend. So let's get into it, John. This is what we're here for. We are not commercial breaking. We are getting right into it. College football playoffs. And the first off, we got to recap what happened back on quarterfinals weekend. Number 10, Miami went out and defeated number 2, Ohio State, 24-14. Number 5, Oregon defeated number 7, Texas Tech, 23-0. Number 1, Indiana defeated number 9, Alabama, 38-3. And number 6, Ole Miss defeated number 3, Georgia, 39-34. John, what game caught you off guard? What game surprised you the most out of all these winners?
First off, I want to say, who not only predicted Miami to upset A&M and beat Ohio State?
Me. You did.
I did.
You did.
Because Miami is better than people are giving them credit for, and I recognize that early on. But the game that surprised me the most was going into the playoffs. I flat out thought that Texas Tech was the most complete team in college football. They had a great offense, they had a great defense, and I don't know where they were, but they weren't playing against Oregon. I did not expect Oregon to come out there and beat them 23-0. That was the surprise. That's the only game I've got wrong in the playoffs so far. And I'm still shocked that they couldn't get anything going. Like, to me, that was crazy. What about you, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, I would have to say that I'm surprised that Alabama didn't put up a bigger fight against Indiana. That defense, man, has been impressive all season. That Alabama defense, I thought, would have went out and at least gave a fight to IU. And they just pretty much laid down. They said, you know what, Mendoza, here you go. Just take it. Just take it from us. Screw it. We've won enough. Just go. I would have to say that surprised me the most was IU went in and just dominated Alabama the way they did. Completely kicked the crap out of them. Miami going out and beating Ohio State. Ohio State all year ran the table. Then they get to the Big Ten title game, and lose to Indiana by what? 4 points? 3 points? And then you get in your first playoff game and you drop to number 10 Miami. Now, I sat here and I've said it all year that I think Miami is a lot stronger than people think they are. But you have predicted that they were going to deep run in the playoffs, and you have been nothing but right.
Yes, I did.
So, and I've done nothing but pick against them since this thing started.
Listen, man, I've been saying it all season. I'm a Carson Beck guy. I loved him at Georgia. And when he went to Miami during the transfer portal, I said, Miami's got this. They didn't win the ACC like I thought they would. But, hey, man, how do you replace Cam Ward? You bring in another great quarterback from the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to see what Beck's going to do when he gets drafted. Like, I'm a big Carson Beck fan. And it pains me to say it because I hate Miami because I'm a Florida State guy, but I'm cheering for Miami in the playoffs because of Carson Beck.
You got to ride that hurricane wave.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ride the hurricane wave. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, who cares if they're rivals? You know, sometimes it's, you know the team well enough because they're a rival of your team. Yeah. Sometimes you do ride with them.
That's why it's not surprising me that they're going this deep into the playoffs.
Yeah. So speaking of that, we get into the semifinals. Starting off, John, we're going to do this. We're going to do it right. Give me 1 second here. Fernando Mendoza is Thanos. I mean, he's been playing lights out football. I mean, he only played one game in the playoffs, but he's been playing pretty damn well. He also raised that Heisman Trophy, so, you know.
To be fair, though, he really didn't have to do much against Alabama. He didn't have 200 yards. He had like 197 through the air, but he did have 3 touchdowns. Like, he really didn't need to do much. The Indiana defense just shut Bama down.
Yeah. I mean, has he really had to do a lot all season other than against Penn State in that final second win?
Oh, Ohio State in the conference championship, but yeah,
you're right on that. You're right on that.
But good teams win. It doesn't matter if you're playing bad teams or you're playing good teams. Good teams win.
Even who cares if you win by 1 or 100? It's a win. It's a dub, and that's that. So, all right, John, let's get into the semifinal talk. Starting on January 8th, we got number 10 Miami heading out to take on number 6 Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. John, what do you got on Miami and Ole Miss?
I like this matchup a lot. Ole Miss is a good team. They have a good offense. They have a decent defense. Trinidad Chambliss, man, Ole Miss's quarterback, he is having a great year. And that's really why Ole Miss is tearing it up. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Kawan Lacey. He's tearing it up on the ground for them. But I think Miami's defense is just too good at this point. I think they're going to give, like I said, what does Miami's defense do? They give the quarterback fits. They make them uncomfortable. They shut down A&M. They shut down Ohio State. And I think they're going to do the same thing to Ole Miss. I think they're going to get after Chambliss. They're going to make him uncomfortable. If Ole Miss can't get their running game going, they're going to be in trouble. And I think they're going to set it up where the offense of Miami is just going to take over. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out, but I think the defense is going to control the pace of the game like they have been throughout the playoffs. And I think that's why I have the Miami Hurricanes going to the national championship game.
All right. I mean, when you look at Miami, they've only put up 34 points in this playoff. So it's their defense that's really, really making the noise for them and setting up for them to go out and win these ball games.
Exactly.
You know, yeah, the offense only put up 34 points, but it's enough to go out and win. Who cares if they win 10-3? Who cares if they win 24-14? The defense is going out and setting up the offense for success. And Ole Miss, I mean, this game it's a hard one to pick from in a sense because, like you said, Ole Miss has a pretty decent offense, but that Miami defense, now they're running into the Miami defense, which could end up giving them
13 points a game.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying if
Yeah.
you don't have an answer for those defense, they get after the quarterback and they make them feel uncomfortable. They have a very dangerous defense.
Well, John, I'm going to say this right now for the first time this playoff, I'm agreeing with you. I'm going with Miami as well. I have to. I have to jump.
Championships, man.
I have to jump.
Miami going.
Yeah, I have to jump on. I have to jump on that bandwagon and actually pick them this week. I do. I can't not. I gotta at least one win. Add one more win to my pick challenge total. I mean, even though I lost.
Now watch, because you pick them, they're gonna jinx them.
Well, let's see. 12 plus 5, that's 17. So if they win, that would be my 18th win. I can actually get to 20 wins in the college football playoff because I have 17. So you already surpassed that. But I got to go with Miami as well. I got to. I can't not. I got to go with them at this point. So, all right. Let's move on to the other game. On January 9th, we got number 5, Oregon, heading in to take on number 1, Indiana, in the Peach Bowl. John, what do you got on Oregon and Indiana?
This game, I was really racking my brain over this game. I really was, because the Ducks surprised me against Texas Tech. And I was really comparing the teams, and it's really a mirror match. So statistically, their offenses and defenses are pretty much both the same. Oregon only has one loss this year. Indiana has none. I mean, Dante Moore has been tearing it up for Oregon. Fernando Mendoza has been tearing it up for Indiana. And to me, it's like, who do you pick in this game? Like, I'm going to go with Indiana because I'm not saying Oregon has not looked strong in the playoffs, but Indiana took care of business. They won the Big Ten. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman winner, probably going to the Raiders in the draft. And it would not surprise me if Oregon wins this game because, like I said, to me, this is a mirror match. These two teams are exactly the same. Exactly the same. But I'm just going to go with Indiana because they have taken care of business every single time they've needed to. And to me, that's what a good team does. Like I said, not saying Oregon hasn't. They've only lost one game, but I'm going with Indiana. I'm going to ride that 14-0 wave.
I'm going to Indiana as well in this game. Like you said, this is like a mirror matchup. You got this nice young, offense in Oregon, made up of I believe they have like 8 freshmen on their offense,
including Dante Moore. He's tearing it up.
Yeah. So that is a very, very young Oregon offense, opposed to what Indiana has with their experience. You can't sit here and always say that experience is going to overtake the youth that a team has, because sometimes that youth can override that experience. It can.
Yeah, this was hard to pick. I really had to think about this one.
Yeah. I mean, when I sat and looked at these two games making my picks the other day, because I made my picks on Sunday in preparation of tonight, and I sat here thinking, like, number one, I got to sit and really deep think about Indiana and Oregon. And I took most time thinking about that game and thinking, is Oregon's young offense going to go out and take care of business? Or is the experience with the Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza going to go out and take care of business? Yep. And then when it came down to Miami and Ole Miss, I was like, Miami's defense, though, and John has made a very, very good point and a very good argument about this defense. I got to go Miami on this side. I do.
That's why I picked them.
And it could be for the first time ever in the college football playoffs that a team is playing at home in the national championship if Miami wins in 2026. That'd be nuts. That would be crazy. so Miami can go out and actually set a record for doing that. So we're both going Miami. We're both going Indiana. And that should, if both teams go out and win, should set up for one hell of a college football national championship game on January 19th in Miami Gardens, Florida.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. But that's all we got. College football playoffs, and that's all we got for tonight, man. 60 minutes. We got it all in, John. We got it all in.
Yeah.
A lot. Jam-packed show, and we got it all in. One more. We got one more thing. I was just thinking about it, too. I want to make one more freaking announcement. And
I'm pregnant?
Stop. No. No, I wanted to make one more announcement. I forgot what I wanted to say now.
You got a little metal shard on the way?
No. Next week, John, we got the Huddies. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday night, we are giving you
That's
the first.
That's going to be a fun show.
Yes, sir. The first annual Huddle Hub Awards, the Huddies. Next Tuesday night.
Because we did it last year.
Well, we were under a different name last year.
I know.
So this is first annual under the name of the Huddle Hub. So it's a pretty much, we're still keeping track of our, because last year was the first year.
Some new fun categories too.
Yeah, we do. We added some new categories to it, some fun categories to it. So I believe we have like 13 categories to go through. So it's going to be a fun one, and it's going to be the first annual Huddies, the Huddle Hub Awards. So
I think we should do ours, and then we should you and Cam should do one too, because he's part of the Huddle Hub too.
We will definitely figure everything out. We can talk about everything everything about that off air. So, with that being said, John, that's it. That's all we got. Your social medias are going to be on the bottom. What do you want to let the people know? I know you got a busy schedule. You plan on getting back to streaming at some point. I've been trying to shout you out as much as I can when I stream my Road to Glory to kind of send people your way. So do you have anything going on social media that you want people to know?
Not at the moment, because I just started a new job this week. I get up at 2 a.m. So I'm still getting used to my new schedule, but I will be streaming once I get used to it in the afternoons. So just bear with me. The Candyman will be back on Twitch and YouTube. Just got to get used to this new schedule and figure everything out. So I do have some stuff planned though. So
well, until then, everybody head over to John's social medias. Check out everything that he has posted now. Hit the follow button and get prepared for when John makes his triumphant return to streaming. Like I said, when I stream my Road to Glory, I make sure to shout you out and Cam out all the time to send you guys, send people your way to go check out your guys' stuff. So, go check it out, everybody. Hit that follow button. You can find me on Instagram, X, TikTok, and Snapchat. I don't do much. I stream on TikTok. I do some Fortnite streaming. I do my Road to Glory, like I said, over on the Huddle Hub Podcast social medias, on Twitch and on YouTube. At the Huddle Hub Pod on X and TikTok, you're going to hit the follow button. On YouTube, you're going to hit the subscribe button. That's how you follow. And, of course, on the Twitch channel, you're going to hit the follow button and turn your notifications on, and you can see when we go live, every time we go live. And you can also go to X for all show announcements. And then on TikTok and YouTube for post-show videos, pretty much posting content almost every day. So you're going to want to go and follow the Huddle Hub Podcast on social media as we are growing by the day, which is crazy. And you can help us build the Huddle Hub Podcast through the rest of the 2025 NFL playoffs, 2025 season, heading into 2026 and beyond. So once we get to the 2026 season, I'll say 2026 and beyond. But until March, I can't say 2026 yet. Can't.
Yeah.
So, all right, John, with that being said, let's get out of here. Everybody, we will see you again on Saturday afternoon, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Sunday again at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to get you guys ready for all of the Super Wild Card weekend. Be good to each other. Be kind to each other. Take care of each other. Be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. Until Saturday. See y'all later. Deuces.